A golden shadow moves through the damp grass, silent enough to inspire fear. The Pantanal jaguar pauses at the water's edge, its gaze fixed on a target fewer than 10 strides away. The caiman rests on the muddy shore, still as a petrified log. The bony plates protecting its back appear utterly unbreakable. Then all of it occurs in a fraction of a second. The jaguar dives into the river, its bite piercing through the caiman's cranium at the temporal bone. A killing method that no other large feline on Earth possesses. This is no tropical paradise. This is the Pantanal, where the flood level determines who survives and who turns into another animal's meal. Welcome to Gaia Docs, where we reveal the most remarkable tales the natural world offers every day. Covering more than 58,000 square miles across the center of South America, the Pantanal is the biggest wetland on the planet. Most of it sits within Brazil, reaching into Bolivia and Paraguay. In 2000, UNESCO named the Pantanal a World Heritage Site. Yet, merely 4.4% of its territory receives official protection. The remainder belongs to private ranches, where the dividing line between pasture and wildlands has never been more precarious. During the rainy season, from November through March, the Paraguay River swells and covers 80% of the region. This landscape turns into a shallow sea, where the distinction between ground and water vanishes completely. Flood depths usually vary from just under 2 feet to 10 feet. Not a true ocean, but a thin layer of water distributed evenly across an area half the size of Germany. Enough to rewrite every rule of existence. When the water withdraws in the dry season, temperatures climb past 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The soil fractures. Rivers contract into stagnant pools. That exact instant marks the start of the real conflict. When every living thing is squeezed around the final remaining waterholes, the Pantanal becomes an arena where no creature is allowed to flee. Who will command the last drops of moisture, and who will break under the brutal heat? The solution rests with 6 champions that have developed over millions of years to struggle on this terrain. It starts with the one who occupies the peak of the food chain. Panthera onca. In the Tupi-Guarani language, the word jaguar means, the one who kills with a single bound. History has never named anything more precisely. The Pantanal jaguar is the mightiest big cat in the Americas, weighing between 200 and over 220 pounds, substantially heavier than its kin anywhere else on the continent. Their bite force reaches roughly 1,500 newtons, the greatest force-to-body-weight ratio among all large felines. That strength lets them accomplish what lions, tigers, and leopards cannot. Death arrives immediately. No thrashing, no extended battle. Their eyes contain a tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina that enhances the faintest light. In the darkness of the Pantanal, jaguars perceive their surroundings as clearly as in full daylight. Even more remarkable is their talent for swimming. While most big cats avoid water, the Pantanal jaguar plunges into the river as though born for it. The long tail acts as a rudder, guiding them through rapid currents. Each male defends a territory covering 10 to 40 square miles, marking boundaries with urine and claw scratches cut into tree trunks. Intrusion means combat, sometimes to the death. In the Porto Jofre region, jaguar density reaches 6 to 7 individuals per 40 square miles, the highest on Earth. The entire Pantanal is home to between 4,000 and 7,000 individuals. Their hunting success rate ranges from 50% to 80%, far surpassing most big cats. African lions typically achieve only 25%. Occasionally, when light hits at just the correct angle, the jet black coat of a melanistic individual reveals the hidden rosette patterns beneath. Local people call them the Black Panthers of the Americas, a ghostly beauty that only the Pantanal could create. The International Union for Conservation of Nature classifies the jaguar as near-threatened globally. In the Pantanal, the population remains steady, one of the final sanctuaries of this magnificent cat across the entire Americas. The jaguar dominates on land, yet beneath the water's surface, a wholly different kingdom functions, and its numbers are startling enough to halt anyone in their tracks. 10 million. That is the lowest estimate for the number of wildfire caiman living in the Pantanal. The true figure may reach 35 million, the greatest density of crocodilian species ever documented by science on this planet. The wildfire caiman averages 6.5 to 8 feet in length, with the largest specimens exceeding 10 feet. Weighing up to 130 pounds, their bodies are covered in osteoderms, bony plates embedded just beneath the skin, tough as rock. 74 conical teeth line the jaws in neat rows, built not for chewing but for gripping. Bite force reaches 2,500 N in mature adults, enough to shatter the bones of any prey that wanders too close to the shore. Along the jaw and snout, thousands of sensory organs located under the skin allow the caiman to detect vibrations on the water's surface from dozens of yards away. A fish flicking its tail, a capybara's paw touching the water, the caiman knows before its eyes can see. Each morning, hundreds of caimans spread themselves along the riverbanks, soaking up heat. An optimal body temperature near 86 degrees Fahrenheit is the prerequisite for their biological systems to work at full efficiency. When night falls, the caiman changes into a completely different hunter. Eyes reflecting moonlight like twin rubies scan across the calm water. Sleeping piranhas turn into easy prey. They maintain the Pantanal's balance by regulating piranha populations, a carnivorous fish capable of exploding in numbers without a predator to restrain them. Without caiman, the freshwater system would break down. This is the Pantanal's greatest irony. Caiman rule the water with an army of millions, a bite force able to crush bone and armor that few can breach. They are the undisputed sovereigns of the river. Yet on land, they become prey. Every time a caiman crawls ashore to warm itself, it places itself within reach of the only predator able to punch through both armor and skull. The jaguar needs no army. A single leap suffices. These two empires, one on land, one below the water, exist side by side. The dividing line between them is the water level. When water rises, caiman expand their range. When water drops, the jaguar advances. Both empires, no matter how powerful, run on the same fuel. A single species whose disappearance would bring the entire food pyramid of the Pantanal crashing down. Hydrochaeris hydrochaeris, the capybara, the largest rodent on Earth, weighing up to 145 pounds, over 4 feet long, resembling a bizarrely oversized guinea pig. Capybara live in groups of 10 to 20 individuals, sometimes swelling to hundreds during the dry season when smaller herds are driven to the same water source. Eyes, ears, and nostrils all sit atop the head, evolution's perfect design for a creature that spends most of its life submerged. Webbed feet, the ability to hold their breath for up to 5 minutes. When danger strikes, capybara dive beneath the surface and disappear completely. Their herds communicate through short, urgent bark-like alarm calls that travel across the flooded grasslands. It sounds as though capybara are fully equipped for survival. The truth is starkly different. They are the preferred meal of nearly every predator in the Pantanal, from jaguars and caiman to anacondas. A jaguar can wait for hours on a branch overhanging the water, watching for capybara herds venturing into the grasslands at dusk. The ambush ends in seconds, a single leap, a cry cut short mid-breath, then silence. Without capybara, there would be no Pantanal as we know it. They are the living currency, the nutritional bedrock that upholds the entire food web. Each time the water retreats in the dry season, capybara herds are channeled toward the remaining pools, and every predator knows it. And so, the capybara's existence is a probability calculation that never stops running. Drink or die of thirst. Venture into the open or be ambushed. Stay with the group or be picked off alone. The jaguar commands the riverbanks. The caiman guards the water. The capybara sustains them both. Three pillars of the Pantanal rotating in an unbreakable cycle until a third force appears. A force that compels both the king of the land and the king of the water to yield. Pteronura brasiliensis, the giant otter, or Lobo del Rio, the river wolf. Reaching nearly 6 feet in length and weighing 75 pounds, they are the largest mustelid on the planet. Giant otters move in family groups of 6 to 10 members, each group controlling a stretch of river 7 to 12 miles long. Territory is marked by scent and defended with aggression. Their fur is impossibly dense, 313 hairs per square millimeter, the thickest of any otter species. Not a single drop of water reaches the skin. Swimming speed reaches nearly 9 miles per hour, turning each otter into a living torpedo. What makes giant otters the most daunting force is not individual might, but pack tactics. 22 distinct vocalizations enable them to coordinate like a military squad. When a school of fish is spotted, the entire group fans into a crescent formation, driving prey into shallow water. Each individual consumes food equal to 10% of its body weight every day. For a family of 10, that amounts to pounds upon pounds of fish, immense pressure on the river ecosystem. The sight of an otter pack attacking a young caiman is proof that collective power transcends the limits of size. They encircle, bite in rotation, and shriek without pause to break the reptile's defenses. A caiman, 6.5 feet long, clad in bony armor with a bite force of 2,000 N, ultimately forced to retreat before 6 otters weighing less than 70 pounds each. Even more striking are the confrontations between giant otters and jaguars. Footage has captured moments when an entire otter pack lines up along the riverbank, roaring, surging toward a solitary jaguar. The apex predator, weighing nearly 3 times each otter, forced to back down before the strength of numbers. That is the lesson the Pantanal teaches again and again. Individual strength has limits, but unity does not. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the giant otter as endangered. Their numbers have declined severely due to habitat loss, mercury pollution from gold mining, and conflict with fishermen. In the three-way war between jaguar, caiman, and otter, other players operate in the shadows, where patience is a more lethal weapon than any fang or claw. If the story of the Pantanal has drawn you in, share with Gaia Docs in the comments. Between the jaguar, the caiman, and the giant otter, who truly rules this wetland? Eunectes murinus, the green anaconda, the heaviest snake on Earth, reaching 16 to 23 feet in verified specimens, with unconfirmed reports of individuals exceeding 26 feet. Unlike the caiman or the jaguar, the anaconda does not chase its prey. It waits, lying still for hours beneath the water's surface, exposing only its eyes and nostrils above the waterline, an enlarged replica of the periscope design that the capybara also possesses. When a capybara approaches the water's edge to drink, the anaconda strikes. No warning sound, no chance of escape. The body coils tight around the prey, constricting until the circulatory system ceases to function. The anaconda's jaws are connected by flexible ligaments, allowing it to open its mouth wide enough to swallow prey twice the diameter of its own head. A capybara weighing 130 pounds disappears entirely inside the serpent's body. After such a meal, the anaconda can fast for weeks. Anacondas do not hunt only capybara. They also attack caiman, coiling around the armored reptile and constricting until the armor becomes a prison for its own owner. Water is the anaconda's domain. When levels rise, the advantage belongs to them. Any creature forced to move through water becomes a potential target. When the water drops, the anaconda loses its camouflage, loses its buoyancy, and becomes sluggish, vulnerable on dry ground. Among these professional predators, one creature exists that no one considers a threat until it raises its claws. Myrmecophaga tridactyla, the giant anteater, weighing up to 110 pounds, over 7 feet long including its tail, a tongue 2 feet in length, fires in and out 160 times per minute, harvesting 30,000 ants and termites in a single day. No teeth. A sense of smell 40 times keener than a human's. Walking on its knuckles to protect 4-inch claws, curved blades that evolution has honed for the sole purpose of tearing open ant mounds. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the giant anteater as vulnerable, populations declining due to deforestation and road collisions. Those claws do not merely dig earth. In fully documented cases, giant anteaters have killed jaguars. The seemingly harmless creature rises onto its hind legs, swinging its forelimbs at the attacker like twin sickles. There are instances where both have fallen dead side by side, the apex predator and the prey it presumed would be easy. In the Pantanal, no creature is harmless, and no confrontation has a predetermined outcome. Then the rains return. Water rises. The land floods once more. Caiman herds disperse across newly inundated territory. Capybara rediscover their flooded grasslands. Jaguars retreat deep into the forest. The cycle repeats as it has repeated through thousands of generations. The Pantanal breathes to the rhythm of water. The flood season is the inhale, expansion, dispersal, abundance. The dry season is the exhale, contraction, compression, filtration. Both rhythms are essential. Remove one, and the ecosystem collapses. The question is not who wins, but whether that breathing will continue. In 2020, the Pantanal endured the worst wildfire in its recorded history. 11 million acres burned, equivalent to 30% of the entire wetland. 17 million vertebrates perished within months. Water levels that year reached their lowest point in half a century. Temperatures shattered records. The fires were ignited by humans, from land clearing burns to expand cattle ranching, needing perfect conditions to spread beyond all control. 90% of the Pantanal is privately owned, most of it cattle ranches. Only 4.4% is officially protected. The battle between economic demand and conservation unfolds every day, quieter than the war between jaguar and caiman, but with consequences immeasurably greater. The Jaguar Corridor Initiative is working to reconnect fragmented jaguar populations across the Americas. The Pantanal is the most critical link in that chain, the place with the highest jaguar density, the greatest genetic diversity, the greatest hope. As global temperatures climb, rainfall patterns shift, dry seasons stretch longer, flood seasons arrive later and weaker. The water cycle, the engine that drives the entire Pantanal, is being disrupted. If the water does not return on schedule, everything collapses. Caiman lose their waterways. Capybara lose their flooded grasslands. Otters lose their rivers. Anacondas lose their refuge. Jaguars lose their prey. 6 warriors evolved to fight each other, not to fight a warming planet. Will the water ever return? The answer does not lie in the Pantanal. It lies with us. Thank you for joining Gaia Docs. Every wetland, every forest, every river is telling its own story. If you want to hear more, subscribe to the channel. We will meet again on the next expedition. The Pantanal still breathes.